All right, man, let's get it, man. Yo, 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 it's your boy Kato Media, and yes, I am back, man. And on today's discussion, man, we are talking about bitter baby mothers, man. Now, a lot of y'all probably want to know how can I maneuver around this situation. Y'all probably asking, like, y'all probably saying in y'all head, man, I've been dealing with this woman for years. How can we get past this? I can't co-parent. So I'm going to break some things down to you so you don't go down that rabbit hole, man. So let's hop right into it, man. So for starters, for you guys that do have baby mothers, man, do not continue to sleep with them. That causes the confusion, man. And let me tell you this. If you can't see your child without messing around with the baby mother, man, you need to evacuate as soon as possible, man. You need to leave because that's not where you want to be. So for starters, you got to cut that off. You got to strictly co-parent, because let me tell you what happens when you do that, right? If you continue to mess around with this woman, whoever you talk to, whether that be a friend or somebody that you're trying to build a relationship with, she will feel like she has say so in your relationship, which means she will feel like she can pop up on you at any time. She can feel like she can be a part of your situation, and that's not the case, man. Y'all have to move on from each other, man. Once you move on completely, you will see a complete change in your whole situation. So for starters, man, that's number one. Remember, cut all ties. This baby mother, and this goes for the women as well. Stop messing with your baby father, man. You gotta cut everything off cold turkey, man. Do not continue to mess around, because hey, we know what happens, man. When people, when they sleep with each other, man, they develop those feelings. Yeah, and then in her mind, she's thinking like, oh, we can possibly work on building our family back. The same way with a man. But I will say, with women, it's more on them to think that way because they're emotional. So when you have those particular things happening, they're thinking more so of like, okay, maybe we can work on rebuilding our family. Whatever happened between you guys departed, y'all went y'all own separate ways. It happens, you know what I'm saying? But that's rule number one, man. Do not continue to sleep with the baby mother. So number two, now if you're dealing with a bitter baby mother, man, now I'm not going to say this is the case for everybody, because it depends on how well you know this woman, right? So if this is a fling, somebody you was messing with, you end up getting pregnant, and it was like a oops situation. You didn't mean to do it, but now you got a kid. You got to deal with that. But if this is somebody that you know, and mind you, I will say, sorry about that, man, that acid reflux. I will say, like, a lot of people don't show their true selves. So that's another issue. Like, when people are in relationships, they do have kids with people, but they're thinking that, hey, we're going to be together for a lifetime. And sometimes it doesn't always work out like that in their favor, man, which is it's an unfortunate situation, right? But if you're dealing with a bitter baby mother or a bitter baby father, this is going both ways. I'm not trying to make it one-sided. You need to document everything. That means, like, hey, if you were trying to see your kid on this day, make sure you make date of that. And the same goes for the woman. Like, if you try to get your baby father to come get his kid or her kid, and his kid, and he didn't want to do it, make sure you document that date so you can keep a trail of these things, man. The same way with the men, man. Make sure you keep a trail, basically showing that you are reaching out, you are taking that initiative, right? So that's that. You want to be able to document everything, the smallest things, the smallest details, man, and continue to reach out. Don't ever feel like you're getting to a point where, all right, I feel defeated at this point. You know what I mean? If you are a man, continue to reach out to try to get your child, man. With women, with the guys, I wouldn't say, like, you can't force a man to be a father, man. That's first and foremost. So with that being said, you can keep that information documented, but once again, you can't force a man to want to raise his kids, man. And sometimes that's trauma. Maybe it's a pattern, like maybe his father wasn't around, and it rubbed off on him, so he don't want to be a father to his kids. But you got people that are out there that do the complete opposite, that didn't have a father, and they made sure that when they did have kids, they were going to do their best to provide and be what their father wasn't in their lives, man. So that's number 2, man. Make sure you keep documentations. So number 3, if you guys can't come to a common ground, if you need a mediator, someone that can be that person to figure out, like, how can you guys work out a schedule for you and the kids, like what's beneficial for both of you guys to be the best in co-parenting, right? Because you want to be able to have that healthy relationship for the child. You don't want to just free ball. I mean, not free ball. You don't want to freestyle these things, right? Because a kid remembers when a certain parent is not in their life, man, and it does play a major role. So that's number 3. If you get a mediator, someone that can see if they can work it out between you guys, so you don't have to go that route of getting the system involved, right? So if push comes to shove, man, if that doesn't work, you need to, for the fellas, you need to go get legitimized. Let me make sure the lighting is up here. I just feel dark a little bit on this end. All right. So for the fellas, man, you need to make sure you go get legitimized, man. Make sure you get legitimized and put yourself on child support. Now, I have heard of cases, and maybe I'm talking too much, but I used to have a lot of female friends, man. And I had this female friend that would tell me that her one particular baby father, he was a barber, right? So he would kind of like have his income under the table, so they wouldn't see how much he was actually making. And I don't know how much he was paying a month. I could be wrong. I think he was paying like $100 a month or something like that, because he was trying to make it seem like he wasn't really making no money like that. And that, I think that's also why a lot of people do things that are kind of under the table, so they don't have a way of actually tracking how much this person is really making, right? But I will say, get yourself legitimized, put yourself on child support, man. That way, that's going to be your paper trail, because honestly, if you're doing for the child if you're doing for the child, you're not on child support, you're not legitimized or anything like that, they consider that as a gift, which means that everything that you have done for that child up until the point that it was born, up until the age that they are now, really didn't mean anything. The courts look at it like that was just a gift. So that's not a paper trail to them, which is crazy, right? So at that point, you want to get visitation rights. Do not stop there. You want to make sure you get visitation rights, man, whether that be joint custody or full, joint custody, joint visitation or whatever like that. Or if you want to file for full custody, that's on you. But that's even harder to prove that particular mother is unfit. I mean, you would have to literally have a video of her fighting with the baby around, or drugs around, and it's like it can happen. Don't get me wrong. You just got to prove that the mother is unfit. Now for the women, I don't know, like, filing for child support, it works. The courts kind of work in y'all favor. So if you wanted to go that route of filing child support for someone that's not there for the child, because it's not just the money, it's also about the time. And I've heard a lot of stories with women saying, like, the guy feels like if he's paying child support, he doesn't have to do anything for the kid, which is really sad because it's like you're saying like the child support is funding for the kid, so I don't have to spend anything on them. So I actually had this conversation with somebody, and I wanted to break this down to you guys so you can kind of get an idea of how men think. And I want to get y'all feedback as well, man. Make sure y'all leave a comment, man. This is a heavy topic. And I can go on about this. If y'all like this video, I can make a part 3, and maybe we can break down some different type of visitation rights that you guys can go about when it comes to you and your kids, and what's better for you guys, because it doesn't have to be just a weekend thing. Like, they have visitations where you can get it throughout the weekday. You know what I mean? You get the child for a full summer. And you guys switch out summers. It can work out like that, but that way that person doesn't have that full control. Because what you don't want to do is let the woman have that full control like that. If it gets to that point, you need to put the courts in your business so you can have them visitation rights. If she's not wanting to budge when you're on visitation rights, man, that's when the police can come. You can get a police escort to come get your kid, man. And at that point, it gets messy. But back to what I was saying. So I was having a discussion with somebody, and this particular person was just telling me, how their baby father didn't feel like he had to, do anything for the kid because he was paying child support, right? So let me tell you how men think. Right now, I'm not saying all men, but this is how men think. So some men think like, if I'm paying child support, where's that money going? Why is this child asking me for money when I'm giving you child support, right? So you have to look at it like that in that instance, and think that a man is thinking like, oh, you're not about to milk me. You know what I mean? And a lot of men deal with that. Like they give out money, and I don't know the amount, but if they're giving money, they want to know where this money is going to. So most women will say, hey, this is going to bills, this is going to XYZ, because the dominant parent is supposed to be able to provide, and they're supposed to live in a way like they were living if it was two parents in the household. So it comes of a place of misunderstanding. Most guys are really frustrated, and they're thinking like, no, I'm giving her money. What is she doing with it? Now, it gets messy when a woman tries to go to court and she tries to milk the guy for more money. That's a whole nother situation, right? That's what you see these celebrities, when they get certain women pregnant. Those women are going back to the courts asking for more money because they see an increase in his lifestyle, so they want that same in return. So you have to put all this into play here. Like, men don't think like women, and women don't think like men, man. Men think more so of like, no, you're not about to play me. You already played me. They feel like, honestly, some men feel like, hey, you played me out of a child. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you just that. I give you child support. Like, what are you doing with the money? You know what I'm saying? But make sure y'all like this video. I can drop a part 3. I want to get y'all honest feedback. And like that, it's your boy Kato Media, and I'm out.